Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be a 25-point game of my eVayl against pButcher. Alright, so what this game should be called is Operation Try New Stuff, because that's really what it came down to. In the league that we're doing right now, you want to try and get at least 3 games done every month, because then if you have 3 games for every month over the entire year, you get a special prize. So my brother was lacking a game because he couldn't make it out to one of the gaming days. So I came out to his place. We're just going to have a fast little game to get him up to speed. While in doing that, I'm going to be trying out all the new stuff I got for Christmas and things like that that I just really haven't had a chance to really try out yet, and then toss in some other things. So looking at my list here, I am going to be having my new War Spears, I have my Scather, I have eVayl, I have my Nephilim Warrior, Carnivian. You can also see there's a Feral Geist there as well. And there's also going to be a Shredder and a Shepherd. Something else I got new was also the Grotesques, but man, those things are just, they take forever to put together. So they just aren't ready yet, and maybe by the time I get Callus, I'll get them together. Meanwhile, my brother has finally got all the things he wants in to make his good old Winter Guard unit, so they're there with the UA and Kovnik Joe, and a rocket guy. He's got the Juggernaut, and he's also got, I think it's called Destructor or something like that. He has a Manhunter on the right, and then back there, of course, is pButcher. So, looking at this, I actually kind of felt a little bit bad for him because I have all these different blasts between the Scather and all the obliterations I can do, so I figured that all those guys with high defense, I am just going to blow through like nothing. As far as the objective goes, it's one of the ones where you can only capture the flag on the right and get control points, and to do it you have to contest the opposite zone, and I'm guessing this one's not going to come down to that. It's going to be a caster kill, but we'll see what happens. So his first turn is the usual, just pretty much moving up and getting in position, fires off a rocket which doesn't scatter in the right direction. Something I forgot that he had is he has like this Condor Lord or whatever solo there. He's like a little mini Warcaster guy, so he's by pButcher. But yeah, I mean, I'm loving it that his 2 big jacks are on the far right, so hopefully I can move up, do a bunch of damage to the Winter Guard, and then move on to them. Unfortunately, my turn was very disappointing. So, really what's going on is I got the Feral Geist rushing up. I figured that he'll be useful in either trying to jump into my own guys or trying to get in the way or something like that. So I'm just trying to get him out there. And then meanwhile, I shut off my Scather, it missed, scattered the wrong way, moved up the Carnivian, hit him with eVayl so I could be channeling and arc noting through him. And really, after doing 2 of my blasts, I only killed 1 guy. He has 4 people knocked down, but he was just making tough rolls like crazy. He probably made something like, it's probably 6 out of 7 tough. So, what can you do, right? I just really didn't get anything done. So on his following turn, you can see his Manhunter is sweeping around the right. Obviously, he's going to be there to try and contest my zone, so I had to dedicate something to him. But his Winter Guard moves up, does a little bit of shooting to me on my Carnivian, does a tiny bit of damage, but the main thing is that now he's starting to consolidate his forces. So he has all of his Winter Guard there, where he has all these spells going up, and on the Juggernaut, and, everything's ready there to counter with pButcher and stuff, and I'm looking at this, and I just told straight off to my brother, like, you are in a very good situation. Like, he has a pretty solid battle line there, and he's in a good position, and I had to sit here for a long time to try and figure out what I'm going to do, and I think it really just comes down to now of this being desperation time. So what I did end up doing was first I charged in the War Spears using their assault order, did nothing. I was thinking after, like, maybe I should have done Vol and used Purge first, but then again, I really wanted to be able to, I just screwed up. So after seeing that messed up, I tried shooting in the whole Scather thing. I scattered, killed one of my own War Spears, so that was really embarrassing. And so after that, I decided I have to really go for it. This will be feat time, and I just need to try and clear some things up and hope for some luck. So I throw in a Carnivian. Here again, I just moved him up so he could be attacking 2 guys, and I only ended up killing 1 because, again, he made 5 or 6 tough saves. Then I shot him with eVayl so I could be shooting through him. I did 3 of the obliterations, killed a few more winter guards, so that was nice. And otherwise, I have up the spell on the Carnivian so that if he comes towards me, I can back away. So I'm hoping I'll be able to taunt in his Juggernaut and waste his activation. I also did the one on the Nephilim Soldier so that he can move in, strike, and then move again. And really, all I got done there was nothing, because even with boosting the hit and buying attacks and stuff, I didn't hit once. So there's a wasted activation. Probably the best thing I got done was the Shredder going up and killing his rocket, and otherwise my little shepherd there is just there to go and kind of pretend that he's going to take on the man-eater there, or the man-hunter. On the far left, I just got my Feral Geist out of the way. Yeah, I know this next turn is going to be rough. So on his turn, unfortunately, he wasn't an idiot. He moved up Kobnik Joe first to trigger the Carnivian's move. I just moved, so I was more towards the Feral Geist. He came with the Juggernaut, killed it. I took it over with the Feral Geist. He still had attack, so he could kill it again. So I kind of just placed myself so that I'd be behind the Juggernaut so that Butcher couldn't see me. He did some attacks into my War Spears with his, Winter Guard. Did a little bit of damage, but nothing too bad. Then he went after my Nephilim Soldier. He was able to kill it. I possessed it, and then he finished it off so that my little ghost guy was over there. And then I realized I just put him in base contact with the guy with the magical weapon, so that was retarded. And so the only nice thing is that when he brought his other jack into my Shredder, he hadn't allocated any focus to it. And so he, after a missed attack and things, he really didn't do much damage. So right now my body and my mind is knocked out, but wow, I mean, things are just going down quick. So then my turn 3, I'm realizing I need to go for a desperate caster kill. I have the Shredder kill his little solo there with the magic weapon. Then I move over my War Spears. They all start shooting into Butcher. One of them did a tiny bit of damage, but the main thing is that after then, Vol went up, shot the one War Spear up on the hill there, and then blasted him, and I just rolled awesome. So on one, I think I rolled, I did 5 damage on the first one and 7 damage on the second one. And that's even with him capping some focus. And that's because I rolled double 6s for that last one. So, yeah, so rolling a 10 and a 12, that was just huge. I mean, at this point, my brother wanted to punch me in the face because of how lucky I was getting. And to talk about luck, my shepherd charged his manhunter, managed to hit, and then killed him. So, in the little battle of the solos, I won that thing too as a little spite. And then meanwhile, I just didn't want pButcher or anything to really come at me too badly, so I just moved over the Feral Geist just to kind of get in his way. So on his turn 4, this is now going to be his feat turn, and oh my god. I never would have thought I would see Winter Guard that were so deadly. They go and they slaughter all of my War Spears except for one. He decides to be more careful and he decides to pull back Butcher, so he didn't actually kill the Feral Geist, and then otherwise he killed the Shredder, moved over the Juggernaut to kind of threaten me, and yeah. So on my last turn here, it's all about getting desperate, so I cut myself to max up on focus. It was kind of funny. First of all, I shot his one other jack, thinking I could shoot through him, and then he kind of reminded me, like, oh, look, doesn't the guy you shoot need line of sight too? And so luckily he was nice enough that he let me redo it just because it was such a stupid thing. I moved over my War Spear to see him and then shot my War Spear, and it actually almost went south because I rolled something like an 11 and I almost killed my War Spear, leaving him with 1 wound. But luckily he didn't die. I was able to channel through him, and yeah, bam, was able to kill him. So whew, pulled that one out of my rear. So victory to Epic Vol, and really, I have to say, I don't deserve it whatsoever. I I mean, I guess I should have kind of expected it because my list wasn't really designed to work together. It was just designed to be a bunch of new stuff thrown together. But yeah, I mean, his army was very effective. This is the first time I got to see why Winterguard was so scary. Always in the past, he's been missing UAs and Covenant Joe and stuff, and now seeing this, plus his amazing ability to roll tough saves. Yeah, wow, they're just a huge pain, and then just seeing them go crazy with Butcher's feet was just amazing. So I know that I got off lucky this time, but in the future, I don't know. We're gonna have to see how it goes when it's my top list versus his top list. I think it's gonna be a pretty even fight most of the time. Anyway, thinking about eVayl, one of the things I really found with her is that even though I thought, man, look at all this big list of spells she has, she'll be so interesting. I found it that she was actually very limiting because it seems that no matter what, the real spell you always want to do is obliteration. And so with it costing 4 and her having 8 focus, or fury, you always just want to do that twice. So the only time you cast any other spells is either if it's in like a dramatic situation that's really rare, or if it's during your feat turn when everything else is free. So I don't know if that's other people's feelings too, that's just the way it seems for me. So I was hoping that in the future she'd be a nifty little character, kind of like how I'm finding Bethany. But at this point, I'm thinking it's actually going to be more, I don't know, more boring. But I don't know, we'll have to see. Her ability to make anything an arc node is pretty awesome. So anyway, hope you like watching it, and we'll catch you later. Bye.